Last episode, we saw the cliffhanger of sorts of seeing that we went for the job at Wrexham. Obviously, things are not going well, and as you can see right here, boy oh boy, have things changed. My god, what a domino effect this created. So, with leaving York City here, because we have left, mainly the reason why, we were trying to, obviously very much pursuing the Wrexham job, and they did not like that at all. They didn't want us to talk about it during press conferences or anything. And we're like, yes, we're definitely going to talk about wanting to join Wrexham. It's a big opportunity for us. So, York City fired us. Then came the Wrexham interview, and I was like, all right, this went well. I'm sure we'll get a call back. We didn't get a call back. So now, it's the end of the year, and we're just kind of hoping to find a new home for us. As far as we gambled for sure. It's going to suck not being a part of York City anymore, but luckily for us, we fell forward. And by that, having joined Carlisle United as the new manager. Man, what a fucking blessing this was. Did not expect them to fire their manager. And, they finished 9th last year, but they were a team, they've been in, as far as a League 2 team forever. They just dropped down, last season. And to go from a team that has not been in the National League since 2004-2005, so from that same time period, they have been a League 1, League 2 team, mainly been a League 2 team, but there was a couple of years before the end of the 2000s where they were still a League 1 team. The end of the 2000s, because I think, they were still a League 1 team when I was in high school, so they were probably a League 2 team after I graduated. So yeah, they're mid-2010s was when they were a League 2 team, but for the rest of the time, they're a League 1 team, so that is major. As far as this is crazy. Absolutely crazy to go from a team like that. As far as what we are going to, as far as the goals for us, too, that were laid out by the team, I could not believe it. I was shocked that they only wanted us. As far as the supporters wanted a little bit more from us, but the board itself, they really don't have a lot of, crazy, as far as over-the-wire type of things for us. They just want us to finish a top half, and that's very much easy enough. And then to have reached the playoffs by the time the following season ends. Can definitely see that for sure, especially with this team when we have so much money at our disposal compared to where we were at York City. This is just great. This is great to see. I think the big thing for us, having such a big-ass venue as well, it's crazy to think, as far as, because Carlisle United, of course, they have, a League 2, stadium, so they could fit, 18,000 people. I'm sure they're not going to draw that many, being in the National League, but that kind of gives us a little bit of room as far as we're not looking to, if we do, in fact, go above and beyond, we graduate out of the National League, and we go to, the League 2, we might just stay with Carlisle United. It wouldn't be that far-fetched of an idea. They are definitely built to stay up there with an 18,000, seat venue. I want to say it's Brunton Park is where that stadium's called. But, that's massive to see. As we'll take a look and see what we're going to look like as far as we're going to just look tactically what we're going to do. Because, right now with so much time it took to kind of find where we're going to be for our job, this is probably the end of, Season 2, a little wrap-up video. So there's not going to be, anything for the future. So we'll just kind of look and see where Carlisle United stand as far as from a team perspective, and just kind of see what we're going to look like tactically going into the new year. Alright, so we have decided that we are going to run 2 different formations for us. The first one is going to be what done so well for us at York City. It's crazy to think that we, first of all, got fired since we had such a good record compared to where somebody was probably on the chopping block. We had a positive record. We had, the most goals scored, compared to goals against. Everything was positive for us. What fucked us at York City was our major factor of us playing well. He got hurt. He was out for the year. And once he was out, we had no offense. But this can work. We've seen it happen. We need to make sure this is going to work. And Taylor Hart's going to be our major player in this, obviously. But the dribbling is pretty fantastic. technique obviously well, flair is there. It's crazy that his passing's not all that great, but as far as dribbling perspective and the speed there, it's definitely going to be major for us, which I think he's going to definitely be more of a factor in this formation when we go with the custom fluid attack, which is kind of funny because we're not even going to have him on like as a starting lineup person. But the plan, as far as the plan, is to have him either be over here on the wing side, or even if we run this little 4-4-2, have him be up here as the winger. But as far as, because I really like this 4-4-2. You know, we kind of talked about when we first started that, you know, it's a bit of a basic formation, but it's going to help us out a lot. Sometimes you just got to stick with the basics. We tried to get a little too clever after the wing play didn't really work out for us at York City, and we were kind of struggling. But this, at least we have two different approaches. You know, the wing play from the 4-4-2 and the wing play from our 4-2-4. So I think that's going to be nice to see. And then our, you know, with a back five as a fluid counter-attacking team, looking to, you know, obviously push up here with our wing backs and have our, you know, Mazzala come up and our box-to-box come up as well, so we can have, you know, as far as basically go from a basically going from a 5-3-2 with that type of approach. I think is going to play really, really well. Right now, obviously familiarity-wise, because we got things all over the place as far as, because this is what we're going to have our base formation be. This is what we're going to mainly use. It worked so well for us. Maybe not so well. I might be kind of overblowing it a little bit, but I mean, we've seen what we can do as far as we've beaten major clubs in the FA Cup. We've been able to have a pretty solid attacking approach when everything's clicking. Really, the big thing with as far as Taylor Charters here on the left side as a winger, he can actually, you know, as far as he's not a bad crosser, not a bad dribbler, he's kind of like a jack of all trades, master of none type of guy, which is great. You know, penalty taking's also 10, tackling's 10, but he's pretty tall though at 6'2", which is great to see. But with our target for it as well, with Edmondson here, 12 heading, 6'2", 15 jumping range, another young guy as well, 23 years old, which is going to be great to see. So as far as we have someone to target, and plus as far as Izzy Brown as an advanced forward, because he's not really going to be, I mean, we could have him be a target forward. Because his jumping range is 12 and his heading's 8. It's not, the worst thing in the world. But mainly what I'm looking for is just somebody to help us out up front once Edmondson wins the header. And plus, obviously, we're going to be bringing in some guys that we want to see as far as, with transfer window business and whatnot, because we got a ways to go, and obviously we have a whole new scouting department and all that fun jazz, which I can't believe we're even putting money on in the National League. I kind of want to just have no scouting. I know that might be a bit of a gamble, but I just I think we'll be just fine without scouting for the most part. As far as keep our business going with the transfer budget, it's kind of the big thing. Put as little money as we can into the scouting budget and kind of work our way from there. Mainly go for the payroll and go for the transfer budget. That's kind of what we're going for. But the big thing with us, too, is not waste our money. I think that happened with the Sam Dalby transfer. He completely, as far as underperformed what we expected from him. It's crazy, York City. So we got let go. I'm trying to remember when our last game was, because we'll take a look at this while I'm thinking about it. We'll look at their schedule. I want to say, because we played Flight, I remember that. And, the Dagon Red, the Gates Shed. I want to say, Gates Shed was the last game. It was either that or, because I don't think we played Wrexham. So, I want to say it was either Dagon Red or Gateshead. So, they only won 3 times after we got let go, so that's not crazy. I mean, I guess it did more. I mean, we only won 3 times in the span of 3 different months, so I guess at least they won twice in 1 month. But I think they even kept with what we were kind of doing from what I remember, because I remember seeing the Barnett score while we were waiting for jobs. It's like, oh, they were running like this 4-3-3, and looked like it went pretty well, because they went against the back 5. Jaden Smith was scoring, Sam Saunders was scoring. A couple of injuries, too, for them, which, that always happens. But they did get outperformed, so they did kind of squeak by there. And I don't know what they did against Bromley. I'm kind of curious if they did the same approach. They get that little 4-2-4 there. They did dominate possession. barely, completed passes. So Caleb as the target forward, that makes a lot of sense. We had him as the target forward for the Fly game, and that's why we won. He scored off a header, if I remember correctly. Maybe it wasn't that game. Huh. Thinking it was it Dagon? No, it couldn't have been Dagon Red. Oh well, as that's the old business. That is what, as far as our old team now, our new team's kind of crazy. We still stuck with the kind of same color scheme with the blue and red, with Carlisle United. But yeah, mainly, as far as looks like Notts County's going up, FC Halifax is going up, Wrexham is still, Wrexham is still staying. So is Dorking. But hopefully, Dagon Red, it's crazy how far they jumped up to, jumping up to 8th by the time it was the end of the year. I was kind of hoping they would fire their guy, because Dagon Red's a fun little team, but they kept their manager. But yeah, let's take a look at Carlisle United's. It has 18,000 for Brunton Park. Boy, that is a shit ton of people. Shit ton of people for sure. We're looking for free transfers. That's the big thing for us. Free transfers, loans. I think that's kind of the thing we got away from with York City. We weren't spending a lot of... We were spending money on transfers more than loans. I wonder if we can get anybody back from York City. I didn't really think about that. That'd be nice. As far as... actually, I'm not even sure who I would try to take. Because Caleb, I think, has potential for sure. So we'll go ahead and shortlist him. And Ethan Ross is the man. I love Jaden Smith. As far as I felt like he played really well for us. Nia Kirby's our guy that we brought in, of course. And Sam Dalby, obviously not. He kind of underperformed for us. Dan Bipus is... he's looking to go up to Salford. So he's looking to jump up completely. Would love to get Mazier. That would be fantastic, actually. So let's go ahead and shortlist him. And I always like Maxim, so we'll shortlist him as well. Because he's still relatively young, 27. And I do love Gus Mafuda, which I do like him, but I do love Ethan Ross. He really played really well for us. Definitely probably shortlist him as well. Just to kind of make sure our bases are covered. Probably should have went through the short list that we had before we got fired, just to kind of make sure we had everybody I kind of wanted on that short list, but now that's gone, so that's unfortunate, but I think we'll be fine. But yeah, this is what we're going with. Jumped ship, Carlisle United, we're a top flight club in the National League again, which is great to see, a fresh start. I'm hoping as far as we can keep the locker room morale, this is the big thing. Wanting to, and a lot of guys want to leave because they got relegated as well, so that's fine. We'll definitely have those guys get the fuck out of here. That's no problem at all. But a lot of things are, as far as they are a tight-knit group, so that's cool to see. So we're going into a good spot. We really are. I think we're going into a really good spot. We just got to keep morale. I think that was kind of a big thing with us, is we kind of went a little too promise crazy at York City, and it fell apart on us. We need to not do that this time around. Stand our ground. If people don't want to be here, that's fine. We'll get them out of here. But also, too, we kind of have to maybe play into some people's demands as well, because we don't have the money to really, like we do at a, Young Boys, or even when we were at, the Newcastle United Jets, as far as they were a team that had a lot of money to kind of bring guys in and out. So potentially, that's something that we want to fix. But yeah, because they were one of the worst clubs as far as scoring-wise, which is why they finished so low, it looks like. But, yeah, I was hoping we can get back to being a most goals team on them. Because, as far as with even the most shots team as well. But yeah, their defense was solid, which is awesome to see. Top 5 and fewest shots against. Yeah, it's going to be nice to have Notts County not here anymore. Because they were just dominant. Barrow AFC was a club that I thought about signing with. It was down to Barrow AFC and to Carlisle United, and I just went with Carlisle United mainly because they had better funds. They had, I think, a better opportunity for us if we get promoted to stay promoted in League 2. But that was because they are a good possession team, and we're not really that as far as from what I saw. What they did, they were 10th. With average possession right at 50%. As far as we were 46 when we were with York. just kind of shows they're a little bit better as far as possession-wise. But yeah, and they were a team that could play a lot of crosses, did borrow AFC, but as far as we were just one less when we were with York City as far as compared to us at Carlisle. Cross position was better as well. But hopefully that 4-2-4 saves us again. If not, we might, as far as we might only have the one forward, might go with a bit of a, didn't mean to click on. That might go with just a straight up 4-2-4 rather, with an advanced, or not advanced playmaker, maybe even a shadow striker, but probably an attacking midfielder. If I had to guess on support, would probably be the best call there. Just as far as to give us a little bit more bounce. But who knows? A lot can still change. Might even bump these guys instead of being, as far as central midfielders being DMs instead. A lot of things we can do. Gives us a little bit of hope. Which I think this is just not changing, because this is definitely a different formation than 4-2-4. But I guess they're not calling it a 4-2-3-1. But yeah, that's where we're at. That's the plan going forward. We'll see how the team looks going into the new year. New opportunities, new horizons. I think that's what we needed. I was just not really feeling that at the end, and it sucks to lose a guy and in someone like Mazier, where your team, you never really understood it. Once it happened, it was like, my God, this man was so much to us. And we were struggling so bad up front, scoring-wise. We couldn't get anything going. I'm excited to see what they do as far as going forward. I am excited to see if we play him again in the future. That would be a lot of fun to see. Manijuku's still there. I know they, John Lewis retired. Got a lot of people down here as far as, it looks like they haven't really brought in anybody new, obviously, but curious to see what they do going forward. But yeah, we will catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.